Hello, everyone, and welcome to another weekly analysis on EMini futures on NQ. This is September 3rd, and we are looking into the analysis for the week starting at September 5th. Let's dive deeper into how the market is looking and how I traded and what's the plan going into next week. Looking into the weekly charts, and this is a 3-year weekly chart, you can see that this trend on the weekly that was like a bear channel, which went up and broke out of that area, strong demand, supply area, strong supply area at that 13,576, and it was right at that 13,698, or where is this? That is close to the high of 13,700, 740 area. It broke, it stopped there, and that was this trend line there, touched it and then sold off. Now it is broke through that whole channel and closed on a bearish note on Friday. Taking that into account, I have drawn some bigger price ranges here, so we can add the 13,700 area as the demand area, 722. So that's the broader range from where we see, it's a much wider time zone. So obviously that's difficult to swing unless until you have, you're able to support a very, very wider stop loss, which is not my style of trading. I'm looking at more of a swing intra day or few days swing. So more of a swing in the week. And to further dive deeper and figure out where are our supports and resistance between this broader area, let's look into our daily channels, daily intervals. Looking at the daily interval, I can tell you there was definitely a rejection here, and I'm looking to my left here to see if there are any good demand areas here. Now one thing you can see here, that's a W here, and let me take this channel out. So there is this W here, so it did break through that little bit and was rejected at this price range. And let's add, so we can say 12,000 to 12,030 was the support area. It got rejected here. That's that peak in the W, and also it was a resistance here which took some days to break through. So that would be a strong support area as of now. So let's consider that as a strong support area. And what would be our immediate resistance area? And that's pretty clear here. We can see that here. That would be this area. So rather than saying 12,469, let's again make it an even number and call it 470. So 12,470 area. Now those will be the two areas that I would like to keep an eye. That's quite a broad area. If you see, let's say 12,000 to 12,470, that's almost 400 points area, and that's quite a broad area, and we want to dive further into the hourlies. Before we do that, on the daily it is definitely oversold and strong selling, very strong selling happening. So any long we take here, if we want to take any long here, we should be lower in our position size because this is a counter trend, and take profits quickly, every 100 points or so, and make sure that if the price action rejects, then we don't try a long again, because that way it will be catching a falling knife and our account will get blown away. So looking at the 184 hourly, that 12,470 still holds good for us, and we could see here that that was a very strong rejection on the 4 hourly. So let's add another support area here of 12,120, or actually let's go to the bottom here, 115, and see if you have a 12,115 long and it retests 12,000, that's almost 100 points of stop. So that's a big amount for me. I usually try around anywhere between 80 to 100 point stop, so that's where I would put my stop. If you don't feel comfortable having that wide a stop, then start diving again further into the 1 hourly and the 30 minutes to figure out the smaller support and resistance areas. Now my position sizing is going to be small here, and I'm going to target this area as my area to take some profit. So 12,250 area, and even on a 4 hourly it is not yet oversold. So am I immediately going to take a 12,115? No way, because what I'm going to see is, now let's look at the hourly to figure that out. So as you can see on the hourly, one thing that I'm starting to ignore all these other areas onto the left. That's because we have drawn some broader support and resistance areas when trying to dive deeper into smaller support and resistance areas and plan our entries and exits. So really that area I'm not considering at all. So I can see here in the hourly it stayed quite a bit. I have mentioned this again and again. If price stays, it is sold off. So if you can see in an hourly it sold off very quickly, then came and stayed at a price. When you see something like this happening, that means this particular support area is a very strong support, and bears tried to break through that support area. And when it stayed for so long here and it goes up and tests a resistance area, that's your signal to take a short. Yes, it's a counter trend, like it's a counter intuitive trade, but this tells you that this support has been weakened. Stop hunting is going on. You take your short entry right above the resistance area. So if let's say you had this rejection here and then it sold off, that was your confirmation that this is a authentic rejection, market sold off. So you would I would put somewhere like 12,200 as my entry, and my stop would be somewhere at least 100 points, so 12,300, something like that. And then my target would be breaking this support for sure. This would be not my target, going into this next support area. So 12,000, as I said, so 12,200 area, you took a short. You'd as soon as it breaks through this support area, you start trailing your like 60 to 70% of your position size. Trail by, depending on how you want to trail, I trail by 20 to 30 points, and it will never be perfect. I'll get stopped out somewhere in this one, that's fine. Then as soon as it hits this major support area, I'll most probably be leaving just 1 or 2% in runner, because I don't want to retest it. and figure out what's going to happen. Again, so that's how I usually trade. And looking at this hourly, as we can see, got rejected, did not stay for long, got rejected, just went through that 12,115 area like it was not even a resistance anymore. So that tells me this is a very, very weak area to take along, extremely weak area to take along. So let's completely remove that and not confuse ourselves. What did it do? It went up, stayed in that resistance area for a long, long time, trying to break out, and it did break out. So from the bottom, we're looking. You can don't think about this one coming from the top as a support area. From the bottom, when we go and we stay on an area, and that area cannot be broken down at all, that is your signal that hey, this is good, becoming a very good support area. And if you can, so again, I'll never be able to take a trade in the night here, but if I see something in the morning when I wake up, I would put a trade, giving some breathing space, and then target this uh, resistance area, and then you take your profit out. Now that is a very strong resistance area. Price never stayed there for a long time. It did stay here, but you see how quickly it got rejected. So that's a very, very strong resistance area. Went through, just sliced through this whole uh, resistance, which is not a support area, which was a support area, sorry, resistance area, but now it's not a support area. Price never held through this area, just went through, sliced through it, and came down all the way here to 12,000 area. So as this area has not, the price has not stayed here for a long, long time, I still consider this to be a very, very strong support area. So that 12,030, 12,030 area, I will try along if the price tests it again, targeting 12,250 area. But if the price stays here, as the price stayed in this 12,115 area, then I'm going to get out of my long, because now I'm targeting a short from somewhere this 12,200 area, 12,200 250 area, for a short that will break through this 12,028 area. So where will it go if it breaks through that? We know that for sure if it breaks through that area. So if you look at a broader picture, went up and touched twice, if it breaks this area, so I'm thinking on the second touch I'll be along and taking profit here. But if it on the third touch coming through to that 12,000 area, if it breaks that, we are seeing this small demand area here, and that would be somewhere at 11,883. So let's add a support here, and that would be somewhere around 11,880. Same concept applies again. So for to reset our bias and think if that is going to be a good bounce area, then you target 12,028 as your profit. Going into, that would be my plan going into next week, to take along here, targeting that 12,250 area and short that area again. No more targeting 12,028 as a support. Now if it still holds as a support, still has a quick bounce and price does not stay at that area, then I will take my profit there. But if price starts staying at there, I'll hold on to my trade targeting this area. Now on a hourly basis, you can see the market is oversold. How does it look on a 4 hourly basis? Not that oversold, so there is still some room to go down. And how does it look like on a 1 year daily basis? Definitely oversold. So on the hourly and daily, if it's oversold, uh, I'll definitely take the oversold versus overbought, not yet oversold area. And let's quickly even look at the weekly. Weekly says not oversold yet. Price action prevails, and we'll know what the price is. So that's what my plan would be going into next week. As always, keep your stop losses tight, your losses small, and your profit at large. Thank you for listening.